Guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the shrine again. Now I can already tell you by looking at the shrine, it's not really great in terms of the survivor side of the coin, but on terms of the killer side, it is actually pretty powerful. Alright, so what are we looking at? We're looking at Breakdown. Breakdown is a perk unlocked by Jeff. It is a teachable, I believe, unlocked at level 40. It's not that great. Anytime you are saved from a hook, or you Kobe from the hook, or you're freed off the hook, or somehow you get off the hook, it will automatically break the hook, and it shows the killer's aura for 4 seconds as well. So when Jeff comes in to save Jeff on the hook, I shouldn't use Jeff. Let's try that again. When Nia comes in to save Jeff off the hook, Jeff can see the killer's aura for 4 seconds, and his hook will automatically break, which will respawn in 30 seconds unless he has the perk Saboteur. Then it is gone for a longer period of time. It's not that great. It requires you to get hooked and then save for it to be active, and generally hooks are very close together, so he can just pick you up and take you to a hook neighboring and nearby. You'll see it used in some Savo builds. I don't think it's a really great perk, and I personally wouldn't spend 2,000 shards on it to unlock it. The next perk is Hex Ruin. Hex Ruin got a bit of a rework not too long ago. A lot of people think this is still a useless perk now that after the rework. I have to humbly disagree with these people. This is actually a very strong perk, especially when you entwine it with surveillance. So basically, generators regress at 0.3% per second. That being said, this doubles the rate of which a generator regresses at 0.6 per second. So that's really, really good. So this means when Jeff got off the generator, because your heartbeat was around, the Jenny will be automatically sparking, regressing. This does mean it will not suffer effects from things like Surge, because the generator is already regressing and Surge won't help you out. It will not suffer effects from things like Pop Goes the Weasel as well. It will not get enhancements from things like Thanatophobia or Dying Light. That's not how it works. It's always at a stable 0.6% regression back. It can be pretty handy also, not gonna lie, when you're running Surveillance. So what does Surveillance do? Surveillance allows you to be able to understand that there is somebody on that generator. Now remember I told you the generator glows white. So whenever a survivor gets onto a generator, they start working. It takes 80 seconds to do a Jenny from start to finish with no skill checks the entire way. Every grade you do obviously enhances, but we're talking off no enhancements, no toolbox, no prove thyself, no partner. 2 people on a Jenny has 10% diminishing returns and 45 seconds, as opposed to 1 person is at 80 seconds. So you're working on a Jenny yourself, killer heartbeat comes over, you let go of the Jenny. That generator is now going to be glowing white if the killer is choosing to incorporate surveillance and Ruin. Now, Surveillance is a teachable unlocked by the pig at level 40. It's very powerful, even with Ruin and Surge. It doesn't have to have both of them. Could have all of them, but then you're overlapping on some kind of perks. That being said, so basically you come over with your heartbeat, the survivor lets go of the Jenny, you instantly know somebody was on that Jenny because it's going to be glowing white. The Jenny's going to be permanently glowing white until Ruin is broken. Even when the Jenny's 100% regressed, it's still going to be glowing white. So you're going to know nobody's touched that Jenny, nobody's touched that Jenny. That Jenny isn't glowing white, so I'm going to rotate over there and look. The issue with this, though, is obviously every pro has a con, and this con is that Hex Ruin is a totem perk. Therefore, it'll be on a dull totem, will become lit, and it'll be on fire, and a survivor can come over and take 12 seconds to cleanse this. They will then receive breaking it, and you will lose the perk. All generators that were regressing or regress will no longer glow white, and you'll have to go manually regress them with a kick on the generator or with Surge, one of these kind of things too. So it does work with Surge and Surveillance as well, that different combo, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Ruin and Surveillance. So it's a very powerful combo. Even if you don't own Surveillance, I would highly recommend purchasing Ruin. Generally, on the most rule for people that are trying to start out as killer is you should either have Ruin or Corrupt Intervention. They're generally the 2 that you should be looking at unlocking. That doesn't apply to all killers. Like, for me on my Spirit, I like Horner Ground, Devour Hope, Thrilling Tremor, and Pop Goes the Weasel, so there's nothing to stall at the start of the game, but then again, the Spirit's a very strong killer, 176% movement, 176% movement speed while phasing, 2.5 second activation phase, and then you're obviously moving at 110%. She's very strong, so she can get away without the stability, but the stability is always really good for a slow killer. That being said, it can be good on the Trapper as well, depending on if you know where you want to value certain things. If you run Corrupt on the Trapper, you're going to be looking at sealing 3 far away Jennies, and if you're prepping the middle of the board, you can bring people to the center and they can see your prep and really hurt you for the mid to the late game. But that's my thought on Ruin. Would I purchase this perk? World of yes. Even if you're not a killer main, it is a good perk. It is unlocked by the Hag. Her other 2 teachables are at level 40, Devour Hope, and at level 30, Hex Third Seal, which you never see anyone use. They're actually all really good perks, so I would buy this perk rather than leveling up the Hag. Hag's not in a fantastic spot right now. You very rarely see her, but she can still be really fun to play. But now that we know that this is on the Shrine, I would scoop it up straight away. Next perk we're looking at is Lightborn. Wow. I just told you how great Ruin was. Now I'm going to tell you how ass Lightborn is. Lightborn only works if a survivor has a flashlight on you or a firecracker. Firecrackers are limited edition items that only come around every couple of times for special events, such as a winter firecracker, such as a Halloween firecracker, sometimes a New Year firecracker. But yeah, wow. don't get this perk, or if you are going to get this perk, I highly think you guys already unlocked this perk, because this is a teachable unlock by the Hillbilly at level 35, because he unlocks Tinker at level 40. What it does is basically, when a survivor blinds you, you have better resistance to the blind, and you recover faster from the blind. Realistically, you can counter that by looking at a wall, you know, baiting out a pickup, and just walk on top of the body for 1.5 seconds, turn around and see if anyone's coming in, have Infectious Fright. There's a lot of better options on the table than running Lightborn. Would I recommend this? I would recommend not picking up this perk. This is a horrid perk, but I would recommend leveling up the Billy, because he's a very strong killer, he has a very powerful kit, and he has some pretty good teachables, bar Lightborn, Enduring, and Tinker is highly recommended for a new player to understand the game and the mechanics a bit better. Now, the next perk we're looking at is Soul Survivor. This is a Lori perk, and basically what it means is basically every kill the killer receives on a teammate, this perk gets a buff. So every time a player is killed or sacrificed, therefore murrayed or DCs or dies on hook, you get a 20-meter block on the killer's aura reading abilities. So what does this mean? This means your aura reading abilities let me just try that again. Your aura cannot be read by the killer out of this range. So this works really well with Object of Obsession. So once you start getting dead teammates in multiple areas, you can run Object and Soul Survivor to get massive value out of it. Generally, if you're running Object, you're going to have the attention. B, you shouldn't be looking at having your teammates die. C, this perk is almost useless in terms of the fact you could run something like Distortion, which is a Jeff teachable as well. I would not recommend picking up this perk unless you wanted to run it with Object of Obsession, and then you got to wait for your teammates to die to get the value out of the perk. You shouldn't be waiting for teammates to die in a trial, much like Fired Up is a bad perk from Freddy Krueger, unlocked at level 30, because it requires you to lose generators when your objective is to protect Jennies and sacrifice survivors. So just kind of keep these things in mind as well. Alrighty guys, that's going to be all for this week's Shrine, guys. If you liked what you saw, don't hesitate to hit that follow button. I do stream on Dead by Daylight on Twitch 5 days a week. I am an educational streamer, and you guys can come in and teach the other people of chat if you guys know a couple of things that I might have missed, especially coming through the Shrines over the last couple of weeks. Otherwise, you can pop in and learn as much as you want over here at Twitch, guys. There'll be a link in the description below. But GG's well played, and I'll see you guys in the next video.